Update: today I effed up by telling my dad I have never slept with anyone. The inevitable happened. The adult worker my dad hired to take away my innocence in the night did not keep her mouth shut. I know. I should have seen it coming. I was convinced my dad didn't know I was gay. I never said anything to anyone about my interests other than to the adult worker who teamed up with my father to unexpectedly put me in a vulnerable position. My dad and I have been avoiding each other since that night. Not gonna lie, I was okay with that. We needed space. This morning my dad showed up at my apartment. Unusual but not surprising. He was courteous enough to call beforehand. Asked if I was available. Said he wanted to talk. I assumed he was still feeling bad about ambushing me with an adult worker and wanted to make sure that our relationship was intact. Little did I know that my dad's primary objective was to establish if his 20-year-old son was attracted to other people's 20-year-old sons. As soon as my dad made himself at home in my living room, he asked if we were alone. I said my roommate was at the gym. My dad's response was to drop the following line: sharing an apartment with a guy who works out must be motivating. My dad asked if my roommate had a girlfriend. I implied that he had girls that come and go. My dad said my roommate must be handsome to get so much attention. I shrugged and said, or he's paying for it. It was a joke. An uncomfortable joke based on my dad's disturbed expression. My dad said he could explain the adult workers and answer all my questions if I was prepared to listen. I said it was none of my business and he didn't owe me an explanation. But I did suggest that he at least considered therapy. My dad said he was proud of the person I've become and promised to think about my suggestion. As wholesome as that moment was, the elephant was still in the room, so I awkwardly asked my dad if he recently communicated with the adult worker he hired to sleep with me. My dad said no because he wanted to respect my privacy and avoid crossing the line again. Based on all the random references to my roommate's attractiveness, I was convinced my dad heard I was gay from one of the other workers, who heard it from the worker with the motor mouth. We danced around the topic of my interests for a little longer because it was still a big moment despite all the weird stuff that happened.